Hello everyone, my name is Gawang Rahmatullah. Allow me to provide an argument regarding the rational solution that I offer for Indonesia as one of the countries that has certified UNCLOS 1982 Maritime and Space Law course. And then in the architecture of modern maritime law, the concept of the area is one of the most progressive assessment of the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea UNCLOS. The area is not simply defined as a geographical space on the seabed beyond national jurisdiction, but rather as a new legal regime that introduces the revolutionary concept of the common heritage of mankind. This concept shifts the classical paradigm of maritime law. Maritime law previously dominated by the principle of freedom of the seas toward a collective management regime oriented toward global justice, equitable distribution of benefits, and sustainability. Normatively, Part X of UNCLOS 1982 affirms that the area and its shores are not objects of sovereignty, nor do they belong to any state, and cannot be claimed by anyone. All rights to the mineral resource in the area rest with humanity as a whole, with management carried out through a dedicated international institution, the International Seabed Authority (ISA). This is where the region uniqueness is. It is the only region in the world not subject to a sovereign state regime, but rather to an international institutional regime with administrative regulatory and even execution authority. And then recent development indicate that the meaning of the region has expanded from a mere normative concept to a concrete arena of geopolitical, economic, and technological interests. This is driven by advance in technology for the exploration and exploitation of seabed minerals such as polymetallic nodules, cobalt trichromate, and sulfides, which are essential for the battery renewable energy and the introduced industries. The region of new frontier of the global economy, making the role of the ESA increasingly strategic and complex. The ESA not only functions as the administrator of exploration contract, but also is the author of technical regulation known as the MINICODE, which governs environmental standards, benefit sharing, technological obligation, and the responsibilities of sponsoring states. Thus, the relationship between the region and the authority ESA is inherent and inseparable. The region can only be understood through the existence of the ESA, and the ESA only has relevance because of the region. In recent development, the ESA has faced significant pressure from developed countries that have mastered deep sea mining technology, as well as demand from developing countries to truly realize the principle of common heritage of mankind. Through technology transfer and equitable benefit sharing. This tension demonstrated that the area is not merely a matter of maritime law, but also a matter of global economic justice and the governance of shared resources. For Indonesia, which ratified UNCLOS 1982, Drug Law number 17 of 1985, this development has significant strategic implication. Indonesia is not only the world's largest archipelagic state, but also a developing country with a direct interest in the implementation of the principle of common heritage of mankind. Theoretically, Indonesia is ideally positioned to play an active role in the legal politics of the area, rather than simply acting as an observer. However, reality shows that Indonesian participation in the area regime remains very limited. Indonesia does not yet have a national business entity or consortium that has submitted exploration contract to the ESA, does not yet have a national regulatory framework specifically governing sponsoring states, and has not yet developed the technological capacity to participate in seabed mineral exploration. This has the potential to position Indonesia as a mere spectator in the distribution of benefit from the region, even though normatively Indonesia is part of humanity with right over it. A rational solution offered to Indonesia must begin with restructuring of its perspective. The region must be understood not as a distant issue in the deep sea, but as part of long-term national strategic interest. Particularly in the context of the energy transition and the blue economy, the government needs to establish a national legal framework governing the sponsoring state mechanism, encourage the formation of state-owned enterprise, university, industry, consortiums for deep sea research and exploration, and actively participate in the formulation of ESA regulation to accommodate the interests of developing countries. Furthermore, Indonesia needs to integrate regional issues into its maritime diplomacy. As an archipelagic nation that frequently promotes the concept of a global maritime axis, Indonesia has the moral and political legitimacy to advocate for the principle of common heritage, not to be reduced to a mere legal formality, but to be realized in the distribution of tangible benefit. This role can be played through a coalition of developing countries within the International Maritime Security Agreement (ESA), promoting an effective technology transfer regime and strengthening environmental protection standard to ensure that exploitation of the area does not damage the still poorly understood deep sea ecosystem. Thus, the current development of the area demonstrated transformation from an idealistic concept to a real arena of contestation between technological, economy, and global justice interests. The authority ESA is at the center of this dynamic, as the institution that regulates how the common heritage of humanity is managed. For Indonesia, the challenge is no longer normative ratification, but rather is its ability to be actively strategically and visionarily present within the regional regime, so that Indonesia rank as a part of humanity area are truly rigid in practice, not merely in international legal acts. Thanks everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.